Good evening. Welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Kasuni Balachandra.
Hello there. Good evening. I'm Niket Karnaratna. We'll start off with the headlines as usual. The Indian Foreign Secretary tours several areas. Minister G.L. Peiris says no decision has been taken to hand over oil tanks in Trincomalee to an Indian company. The number of daily corona deaths reduces to 40. Minister Rohit Abe Gunawardena says that Samagi Janabal Vegir has been divided. Another music show of Yohani De Silva takes place at Hyderabad, India.
Moving on to those and other stories in detail. Indian Foreign Secretary Harsh Vardhan Shringla arrived in the country last night on a 4-day official tour. He arrived in the country on an invitation from Foreign Ministry Secretary Admiral Professor Jayanath Kolabage. Mr. Shringla will stay in the country until the 5th of this month. During his stay, he will hold discussions with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa, and a group of officials. The aim of the visit is to enhance cooperation between the two countries. Indian High Commission in Sri Lanka said that he is scheduled to visit several areas of Sri Lanka. Officials of Sri Lanka and India were at Katunayake International Airport to receive the Indian Foreign Secretary. Mr. Shringla, who has 37 years of experience in the Foreign Service, has worked as the Indian Ambassador and the High Commissioner in the US, Bangladesh and Thailand. The Indian Foreign Secretary arrived this morning at the Kandy Sri Dhalanda Maligawa to pay homage and to receive blessings. Devadna Nilame Pradeep Langadala received the Foreign Secretary. The Indian Foreign Secretary made a note on the special guest's book after worship in the sacred Tooth Relic. Thereafter, mementos were exchanged between the Indian Foreign Secretary and Devadna Nilame.
This is the first place I'm visiting. We are very fortunate to have the opportunity of getting the blessings, the Dhalada Maligawa temple of the Tooth Relic. This is a very spiritual site of great spiritual importance, not just for Sri Lanka, but also for India. As you know, we have a shared spiritual and cultural heritage, and I think it is a very good way to start my visit to Sri Lanka. And of course, we have some very important projects here that are happening, including the setting up of a Kandy Dance Center, and I think that is something that our Prime Minister announced when he visited here a few years ago. We also have a consulate here for a long time, and I think Assistant High Commission for a long time in Kandy. Very important center for us, and certainly I'm very happy to be here.
The Indian Foreign Secretary visited Trincomalee China Harbour Lanka Indian Oil Company this afternoon. He opened the new sales outlet established at the company premises and made an inspection tour of the place. The Indian Foreign Secretary visited Jaffna this afternoon and inspected Jaffna Cultural Centre, which is being built under the Indian government assistance. Indian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, Gopal Bhagle, and a group of people were present on this occasion.
Very happy to be back in this historic and beautiful city of Jaffna. There was a period from 2011 to 14 when I had occasion to visit the city a number of times, and it's great to be back. I have just taken a round of the iconic and state-of-art Jaffna Cultural Center. As you know, this was constructed on the basis of a grant extended by the Government of India of over $11 million. This building is a symbol of the abiding commitment of the Government of India towards promoting and preserving our shared cultural heritage.
Minister G.L. Peiris says that a decision has not been taken so far to hand over oil tanks in Trincomalee to an Indian company. He mentioned this to media in Anuradhapura today. The minister called over and received the blessings of Chief Sanganayaka of Northern and North Central Provinces, Venerable Dr. Nugathenne Panjananda Thera at Anuradhapura Jayanti Temple. The minister briefed him about the country's future development activities and the foreign exchange issue. Thereafter, Minister G.L. Peiris called over on the Chief Prelate of Anuradhapura Minisavatia Temple, Venerable Italavattunuave Jnanatilaka Thera, and Chief Monk of Lankarama Temple and North Central Province, Venerable Ralabanave Dhammajoti Thera. Minister G.L. Pires said that a final decision has not been taken. Open discussions are taking place about the project, but a final decision has not been taken.
Health authorities have requested parents with children with special needs, chronic illnesses and birth defects to visit hospitals and get the COVID vaccine. Professor Shyaman Ranjindrajit of Pediatric Specialists Association requested the parents with children with birth defects and chronic illnesses to visit a nearest hospital or district hospital or teaching hospital and to get the vaccine with the approval of a doctor. He said if such children get infected with COVID virus, there can be serious complications. Therefore, it has to be prevented.
ගොදුරවන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා ඒ වළක්වීම සඳහා තමයි අපි ඔවුන්ට කොවිඩ් එන්නත ලබා දෙන්නේ.
Vaccination of children between the ages of 12 and 19 with special needs and chronic illnesses is taking place at district level. Vaccines for such children are given at Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital. Vaccination at Lady Ridgeway Hospital is continuing. 26,423,966 vaccine doses have been given to the people under COVID vaccination program. 14,570,141 have been given the first dose of a vaccine. 11,853,825 have been given both doses of a vaccine. 45,007 vaccine doses have been given yesterday. (542) COVID patients were found today. 652 have left hospitals after recovering from the virus. The Director General of Health Services reported today 40 COVID-related deaths have occurred yesterday. 28 out of them are the age 60 years and above. Among them are 11 between the ages of 30 and 59 years and one person is below 30 years. The Minister of Education says that the attention has been paid on opening schools under several phases on the advice of the Health Ministry. Several rounds of discussions took place between Minister Dinesh Gunawardena and provincial governors recently on reopening schools. The governors have given special attention on providing infrastructure facilities. About 3,000 schools are scheduled to be opened under several selected criteria, such as opening primary grades of schools with less than 200 students and all grades of schools with 100 students. New Zealand government has commenced Sri Lanka's vaccination program. High Commissioner Michael Appleton mentioned this during a discussion recently with Minister Prasanna Ranatunga. The discussion took place on tourism promotion between the two countries. The minister explained to the High Commissioner that the government is paying special attention on eradicating COVID and all sectors including health and security, and authorities are contributing to the efforts. Commending the efforts, Mr. Appleton said that they are prepared to support the eradication of COVID at any time. Staff of Dulapuriya District Hospital staged a music show for the mental well-being of COVID-19 patients undergoing treatment at the hospital.
Worldwide deaths related to COVID-19 surpassed 5 million recently, according to Reuters tally, with unvaccinated people particularly exposed to the virulent Delta strain.
Worldwide deaths related to COVID-19 surpassed 5 million on Friday, according to a Reuters tally, with unvaccinated people particularly exposed to the dangerous Delta strain. More than half of all global deaths reported on a 7-day average were in the United States, Russia, Brazil, Mexico, and India. While it took just over a year for the COVID-19 death toll to hit 2.5 million, the next 2.5 million deaths were recorded in just under 8 months, according to a Reuters analysis. There has been increasing focus in recent days on getting vaccines to poorer nations, where many people are yet to receive a first dose, even as their richer counterparts have begun giving booster shots. The United States, which has been battling vaccine misinformation, surpassed 700,000 deaths on Friday, the highest toll of any country. As a region, South America has the highest death toll in the world, accounting for 21% of all reported deaths, followed by North America and Eastern Europe. However, India, one of the first countries ravaged by the Delta variant, has gone from an average of 4,000 deaths a day to less than 300 as its vaccination campaign is rolled out. The Delta variant is now the dominant strain across the globe and has been reported in 187 out of 194 World Health Organization member countries.
New Zealand's Delta variant outbreak spread beyond the largest city of Auckland, prompting Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern to put additional regions into a snap lockdown.
New Zealand's Delta variant outbreak has spread beyond the largest city of Auckland, prompting Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern on Sunday to put more regions in lockdown. Auckland has been in lockdown since mid-August, in what was meant to be a short and sharp nationwide lockdown. While the rest of the country has largely returned to normal life, the North Island city has remained in lockdown for almost 2 months. Ardern called on citizens to get vaccinated to avoid more restrictions in the future.
The people of Auckland are sacrificing a lot to do that too, but they are doing that to give everyone else time to be vaccinated. If, in the meantime, the virus moves beyond the Auckland boundary and the places it moves to have low vaccination rates, then today is an example of how we will need to respond.
On Saturday, protesters took to the streets to rally against the lockdown in Auckland, which Ardern called a slap in the face. 32 new coronavirus cases were recorded on Sunday, and 2 cases in the Waikato region south of Auckland. Parts of the region will go into a 5-day lockdown. She added that full vaccination will become a requirement for non-New Zealand citizens arriving in the country from November 1st.
Minister Rohita Abe-Gunawardena says that the opposition, including Samagijana Balawegaya, have been divided into several groups. He mentioned this following a function at Bandaragama today. Minister Rohita Abe-Gunawardena said that they disclosed when Sajith Premadasa formed Samagijana Balawegaya that group is not suitable. The alliance, formed in 2015 by Ranil Wickremesinghe, Maithripala Sirisena, Anur Kumara Disanayaka, Sampanthan and others could not achieve anything. There are problems inside Samagijana Balawegaya. The opposition needs a leader with a backbone. Whoever the opposition leader, the government has a backbone which is not afraid to take decisions. The economy of the country will be strengthened after the COVID crisis in 2022.
The Teachers and Parents Collective to Secure Children's Education has requested all principals and teachers to provide education to the children as soon as the schools are reopened and to perform their duties. They mentioned this during a media briefing in Colombo today. Vasantha Handapangura, chairperson of Sri Lanka Podujana Education Services Union, said that JVP Central Committee member Mahinda Jayasinghe and a provincial council member who launched protests are not in the teaching service. They are trying to achieve their political aims by taking teachers to the streets based on the salary anomalies. This cannot be continued. The government should reveal the truth about these persons to the country. Government should intervene to guarantee children's education and to meet the requests of the parents.
Chairman of the National Authority on Tobacco and Alcohol, Dr. Samadhi Rajapaksa, says 57 die daily due to the use of alcohol. He said that they expect to introduce several acts to rescue people from alcohol use. Today is World Temperance Day. Many social and economic issues arise due to the use of alcohol. It is an obstacle to the progress of the country, which has also led to many family conflicts. Chairman of the National Authority on Tobacco and Alcohol, Dr. Samadhi Rajapaksa, said that nearly 20,000 die annually due to alcohol consumption. It has also led to other liver diseases, cancers and fatal accidents.
ඍජුවම බලපාන සාධකයක් මාරාන්තික රියානතුරු වලට අපේ සමාජයේ අපේ පවුල් ඒකකයේ තුල සිදුවන ඝට්ටනයන් කලකෝලාහල මේ සියල්ලටම
All retail liquor stores were closed today in connection with the World Temperance Day. They have been closed on an order from the Excise Department.
Another show of Yohani De Silva will be held in India today. Her first show on Thursday received a huge response from her fans.
අද හයිදරාබාද් වල ඉන්නේ. රාත්‍රී තියෙනවා අපේ ෂෝ එක. මම ඉන්නේ මගේ බෑන්ඩ් එකත් එක්ක.
Constructing of new trade stalls for pavement traders at Polonnaruwa Bakamuna town commenced yesterday under the patronage of State Minister Roshan Ranasinghe. Under the first phase, 8 trade stalls will be built at a cost of 7.5 million rupees. MP Amarkirti Atakurla and a group of people were present on this occasion. A meeting took place today between Minister Nama Rajapaksa and economic development officials of Hambantota. The meeting took place at Beliyatha Sunanda Rahama Temple. They discussed future development projects in the area. Under the Gama Samaga Pilisandra program, a meeting to get the views of regional politicians for Budget 2022 took place yesterday. It took place at Wattala Pradesh Sabha Auditorium. A group of people, including Minister Sarath Veerasekara and State Minister Nimal Lanza, were present on the occasion. A program to brief Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna rural committee officials of Mahara division took place yesterday. It was held under the patronage of Minister Sisil Premajand and MP Sahan Pradeep Putana. Central Province Governor Lalit Gamage looked into the problems of Dambulla big onion farmers recently. Big onions are cultivated at Dambulla, Kimbis, Digampatana and Lenava areas. The governor also inspected the new freezer storage built at Kimbis Saubhagya Big Onion Society. A program called From Village to Village with Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna took place yesterday at Pilimathalava. MPs Vasantayapa Bhandara, Ashok Priyantha and KGS Kumarasiri joined the program. Briefing on the budget 2022 and getting views took place on this occasion.
Many farmers have taken to cultivation using organic fertilizer. All Ceylon Organic Fertilizer Producers Association says that they are capable of providing organic fertilizer needed by them. This is a papaya cultivation maintained using organic fertilizer in Vaunia. The cultivation has been done in over 1,000 acres. Farmers said that they use only organic fertilizer and a better quality harvest can be obtained by the cultivation. Labaduva Agrarian Services Centre has commenced producing organic fertilizer needed by the farmers in the area. 165 metric tons of organic fertilizer is required for Maha season in the area. 140 metric tons of organic fertilizer have been produced so far.
Now we bring you several local news reports. The procession carrying the pinnacle and crest gem of Sandahiru Stupa set off this morning from Gaul Unavatuna Yatagala Rajamahaviharaya. The procession arrived at Verhena Rajamahaviharaya through Thalpe, Ahangama, Valigama, Denipitiya, Ganga Tilaka Mahaviharaya, Mirissa, Valgama, Nupe, Matra Bodhi and Matra town. The annual New Rice Festival of Mahavali H Zone took place yesterday at Kalavava, Aukana Rajamahaviharaya. The religious ceremony has been organized under the guidance of Chief Prelate of Kalavava, Aukana Temple, Venerable Velliye Dhamakirti Thera. A group of people, including Ministers S.M. Chandrasena, were present on this occasion. 4 military officers were injured in an accident yesterday near Vaunia Buoya road block. The accident occurred when the bus carrying them skidded off the road. Several houses at Lankapura Division Secretariat area have submerged following heavy rains in the Polonnaruwa district. Our reporter said houses at Gallamun area have also submerged due to overflowing of main area tank. A 3-wheeler and a lorry collided yesterday near Marambatang. The 3-wheeler had rolled over to Marambatang and 2 persons who were travelling in the 3-wheeler have been injured.
Indian troops who take part in Mitra Shakti joint military exercise arrived in the country yesterday. The group includes 18 officers and 102 other rankers. Sri Lankan and Indian militaries are jointly conducting the exercise. Colonel Prakash Kumar of the Indian Army leads the group, which arrived at Mattala International Airport. Deputy Director of the Mitra Shakti Joint Military Exercise, Brigadier P. N. Godelvatta, and Defence Advisor of the Indian High Commission in Sri Lanka welcomed the troops. Commander of the 53rd Brigade, Major General Nishanta Manage, is the director of the joint military exercise, which will be held at Ampara Military Training School. That's all the news for today. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.